She's in the house. Please, they're hurting her, the little girl cried, her tiny fist clutching the thick leather vest of the towering biker in front of her. The bar fell into a stunned silence. The jukebox stuttered to a halt mid-song. Every glass, every laugh, every breath froze in place. She couldn't have been older than 9. Barefoot, hair tangled, tears streaking down her cheeks like rain on a window. She was trembling so hard it was like her little body was trying to disappear. Tank, the 6'4" biker she had grabbed, lowered his beer and stared. His face was hard, carved from years of fights and loss, but something about her eyes cracked straight through the steel. Behind him, the rest of the Hells Angels watched in confused stillness, unsure what they were witnessing, until she looked up and begged again. "They're hurting my mom. Please." Nobody moved. Then slowly, Tank knelt in front of her. His voice, normally a growl, softened just enough to ask where. "Number 6, blue trailer. My stepdad's drunk. He locked the door." The words came out choked and frantic, but clear enough. There was no more time for questions. Tank stood and barked one word: "Mount up." In seconds, engines screamed to life, echoing like thunder down the quiet town's main street. 6 bikes roared out of the lot, chrome shining, tires spitting gravel behind them as they tore toward the trailer park on the edge of town. This wasn't about reputation anymore. It wasn't about being feared or respected. This was something else, something raw and righteous. When they reached the blue trailer, the place looked dead. Lights off, curtains drawn, too quiet. Roach didn't wait. His boot exploded the door inward with a single violent kick. The moment they entered, chaos erupted. Inside stank of stale beer, smoke, and something worse, something rotting. One man stood over a tied-up woman, shouting slurred threats. The other held a bat. Neither made it 2 steps. Tank caught the bat mid-air, ripped it from the man's hand, and threw him through a coffee table like a rag doll. Grim tackled the second man into the wall, fists landing like sledgehammers. Doc was already by the woman, untying her, whispering that she was safe now. Her lip was bleeding, one eye swollen shut, wrists rope burned from where she'd struggled. She couldn't even speak, just stared in disbelief at the leather-clad angels that had burst into her nightmare. Then the girl arrived, riding on the back of Grim's bike, arms wrapped tight around his waist. As soon as it stopped, she jumped off and ran barefoot across the gravel, straight into her mother's arms. "Mommy!" she cried, collapsing into her lap. "I got help! I got help!" Her mother sobbed, cradling her like she was newborn again, both of them shaking with relief. And the bikers, these men feared on the streets, stood frozen, fighting back something unfamiliar: tears. The police showed up 30 minutes later, once the real danger was gone. They cuffed the men and made statements, but the mother's broken voice told them everything they needed to know. She had tried to leave before, reported him, pleaded for help, but nothing ever came. Shelters were full, cops shrugged, friends disappeared. She was alone. Except, her daughter had remembered something, a story, a rumor, about the scary men at the biker bar with skulls on their jackets and fire in their engines. And in her desperate heart, she thought, maybe they'll listen, maybe they'll care. She was right. The next morning, the Hells Angels were still there. They fixed her door, left an envelope of cash, filled the fridge. Tank made sure she had a new phone with emergency contacts saved in. Grim brought her clothes. Doc called in a favor and got her a job at a garage where no one would ask questions. And that little girl, she didn't stop smiling for days. She rode on the bikes, wore a leather vest 3 sizes too big, and told everyone her uncles were superheroes. And in a way, they were. In the weeks that followed, they visited every few days, brought groceries, helped her move to a better place, made sure she was protected. Not one hair on her head would ever be harmed again, not without dealing with the wrath of 6 men who'd been hardened by life, but softened by one child's courage. The truth? They didn't save her. She saved herself. She ran. She spoke. She refused to be silent. And she chose the one group nobody else would dare ask for help. Because somehow, she saw past the leather and beards and saw something others missed. Hearts still capable of fighting for what's right. So next time you judge someone by the way they look, pause. Sometimes the angels don't wear halos. They ride Harleys and carry scars. And sometimes the people we fear the most are the only ones brave enough to stand up when the world turns away. Before we wrap up, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to be part of this growing community of dreamers and doers. Your next life-changing story might be just one click away.